History is often presented as a closed book, timelines neatly drawn, civilizations rising and falling according to agreed-upon rules. We are taught that humanity's progress followed a slow, logical path: stone tools, farming, villages, cities, empires, machines. Yet every so often, something is pulled from the earth that does not fit the story. A stone carved with impossible precision. A map that shows lands no one should have known. A machine too advanced for its time. These discoveries are not simply curiosities. They are fractures in the foundation of our understanding, cracks through which uncomfortable questions seep. Were ancient people far more advanced than we believe? Did knowledge rise and fall in cycles rather than a straight line? Or have we misunderstood our own past because we assumed our ancestors were primitive? This is the story of 6 ancient discoveries, each real, each documented, and each deeply unsettling. They do not give us answers. Instead, they challenge everything we thought we knew. 1. Göbekli Tepe, the temple that should not exist. High on a limestone ridge in southeastern Turkey lies Göbekli Tepe, a site so revolutionary that it forced archaeologists to rewrite textbooks almost overnight. Discovered in the 1960s but only properly excavated in the 1990s, Göbekli Tepe is dated to around 9600 BCE, more than 11,000 years old. This alone would not be shocking, except for one detail: it was built before agriculture. Conventional history tells us that humans became settled farmers first, then developed complex religion, architecture, and social hierarchies. Göbekli Tepe shatters this sequence. The site consists of massive T-shaped stone pillars, some weighing over 20 tons, arranged in precise circular enclosures. The pillars are carved with intricate reliefs of animals: lions, foxes, snakes, vultures, rendered with artistic skill and symbolic depth. There is no evidence of permanent housing, no hearths, no trash pits. People did not live here. They came here for rituals. This means something astonishing. Religion may have come before civilization. Humans may have gathered for shared belief and ceremony first, and only later invented farming to support those gatherings. Even more mysterious is the fact that Göbekli Tepe was deliberately buried around 8000 BCE. Thousands of tons of earth were carefully poured into the enclosures, preserving them for millennia. Why would a society capable of such effort erase its own sacred center? Some researchers believe Göbekli Tepe was a response to a traumatic event, perhaps a climate catastrophe or cosmic impact. Others suggest it marks the remnants of a forgotten culture, one that vanished and took its knowledge with it. Göbekli Tepe does not merely add a chapter to history. It tears out the opening pages and forces us to start again. 2. The Antikythera Mechanism, a computer from ancient Greece. In 1901, sponge divers exploring a Roman shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera recovered what appeared to be a corroded lump of bronze. For decades, it sat largely ignored in a museum. Only in the mid-20th century did scientists realize what it truly was. The Antikythera Mechanism, dated to around 100 BCE, is now recognized as the world's first known analog computer. Inside the corroded fragments are over 30 precisely cut bronze gears, arranged in a complex system capable of predicting solar and lunar eclipses, tracking planetary movements, and modeling astronomical cycles with astonishing accuracy. Nothing even remotely comparable appears again in the historical record for more than 1,400 years, until medieval astronomical clocks. The level of mathematical knowledge required to design this device is extraordinary. It implies an understanding of astronomy, geometry, and mechanical engineering far beyond what we associate with ancient Greece. The most disturbing question is not how the mechanism worked, but why we do not see others like it. Was this a unique invention, or the last surviving example of a technological tradition that was lost? Ancient texts reference complex machines created by thinkers like Archimedes and Hipparchus, but none survive. Did ancient science reach heights that were later destroyed by war, fire, and neglect? The Antikythera Mechanism stands as silent evidence that human knowledge can regress, not just progress. 3. The Piri Reis Map, a world known too early. In 1513, Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis compiled a world map using older sources, some, he claimed, dating back to the time of Alexander the Great. At first glance, the map appears unremarkable, but closer inspection reveals something impossible. The Piri Reis Map shows the western coast of Africa, eastern South America, and what appears to be Antarctica, ice-free. Antarctica was officially discovered in 1820, and its ice-covered coastline was not accurately mapped until the 20th century using satellite technology. Yet the southern landmass on the Piri Reis map matches the contours of Antarctica with eerie precision. How could ancient sources have known this? Some researchers suggest the map depicts South America distorted. Others argue it represents Antarctica before it was covered in ice, meaning the source material could be over 10,000 years old, dating back to the end of the last ice age. If this is true, it implies the existence of an advanced seafaring civilization capable of global exploration in deep prehistory. A civilization erased by rising seas and time, leaving only fragments of its knowledge embedded in later maps. The map is not proof, but it is a question carved into parchment: who knew the world before we did? 4. The Baghdad Battery. Electricity in the ancient world. In 1938, German archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig examined a strange artifact from near Baghdad, dating to the Parthian period around 250 BCE 250 CE. It consisted of a clay jar, a copper cylinder, and an iron rod. When replicas were filled with acidic liquid like vinegar or wine, they produced a small electric current. This object became known as the Baghdad Battery. Mainstream scholars debate its purpose. Some argue it was used for electroplating, coating objects with thin layers of metal. Others suggest ritual or medicinal uses. Critics claim it may not have been a battery at all. But the problem remains: similar electrochemical principles were not, officially, discovered until the 18th century. If ancient people understood basic electricity, even in a limited form, what else did they know? And why was this knowledge not passed down? The Baghdad Battery hints at a world where experimentation flourished, where discoveries were made, used, and then forgotten. 5. Puma Punku. Precision beyond explanation. High in the Andes of Bolivia, at an altitude of nearly 13,000 feet, lies Puma Punku, part of the ancient Tiwanaku complex. The site is famous for its massive stone blocks, some weighing over 100 tons, cut with such precision that modern engineers struggle to replicate them. The stones feature perfectly straight lines, sharp internal angles, and drilled holes that appear machine-made. Many blocks interlock like Lego pieces, suggesting advanced planning and standardized measurements. Yet the civilization associated with Puma Punku is believed to have existed around 500–1000 CE, without iron tools, wheels, or draft animals. How were these stones cut, transported, and assembled with such accuracy? Earthquakes have toppled the structures, but the cuts remain flawless. The stone itself, andesite, is extremely hard. Copper tools should not have been sufficient. Some researchers propose lost techniques using vibration, chemical softening, or advanced stone working methods that vanished with the culture. Others believe the site is far older than currently accepted, built by an unknown civilization whose traces were later adopted by the Tiwanaku. Puma Punku does not offer answers. It stands as a challenge, silent, massive, and unmoved by our theories. 6. The Voynich Manuscript. A book that refuses to speak. The Voynich Manuscript is a book written in an unknown script, filled with bizarre illustrations of plants that do not exist, strange astronomical diagrams, and enigmatic human figures bathing in green pools connected by tubes. Carbon dated to the early 15th century, the manuscript has resisted every attempt at translation. Linguists, cryptographers, historians, and even artificial intelligence have failed to decode it conclusively. Is it a cipher, a constructed language, an elaborate hoax, or something else entirely? What makes the Voynich manuscript so unsettling is that statistical analysis suggests it behaves like a real language. The word patterns follow natural linguistic rules. It is not random. If it is a code, it is unlike any known system. If it is a language, it belongs to no known culture. Some speculate it preserves forgotten medical or botanical knowledge. Others believe it is the last echo of a vanished tradition, written in a script designed to survive persecution or conceal dangerous truths. The manuscript sits in a library, open to the world, yet utterly unreadable. Knowledge is there, but locked. Epilogue. The fragility of human knowledge. These 6 discoveries share a common message: human history is not a straight line. Knowledge can be gained, and lost. Civilizations can rise to unexpected heights and vanish without a trace. What we call primitive may simply be what survived. Perhaps our ancestors were not less intelligent, only different. Perhaps they understood aspects of the world we have forgotten. Or perhaps history itself is a broken mirror, reflecting only fragments of what once was.